Now I will request one party Mexico, the President one party Mexico, Mr. B.R. Castro. Mr. B.R. Castro. He is a very young man, maintaining very good health.
30 years, maybe 25 years.
Yes, I'm an only young man in this group. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. The first thing I want to say you is about the feelings we can't explain in any languages. The feelings with the feelings you can see the souls, and you can see to the happy face like me now, because I'm very happy to be here. I'm being here not to put one pica in Flanders. I'm here because I was working 15 years to stay with all of you over here right now. I work 15 years from my country, and this is the reason my legs are tired, very tired, but not me. So much that tomorrow morning I'm going to the Everest, at the risk of the Everest, and come back at night. If somebody come to accompany me, you're welcome. Well, when I want to say another thing, I think it's very important too, because when I was writing my work, I'm going to read. After, I call some very good friend in Japan, and I ask him, can you help me? Do you want to give me some tip for my work, for writing my work? And yeah, he told me just one word. Just one word. And this is the reason I can write and finish my work. I'm going to read for all of you. This document is the last of the trilogy I have, the most recent works. The first one of this trilogy is I don't remember in English because I know in Spanish all the time. But as dynamic balance point is the name of my first work of this trilogy. The other is the 50 part, and this one is the postdata. This is the culmination of my work for 15 years studying, researching, investigation, and it's the culmination of my model, scientific model, mathematical model, and that I proposed for the war. And well, was that the name? About the red quantas. About the red quantas. Remember this? This is the memories of the future. This one is dedicated to my beloved mother, as 97 years old. And it's a very short story about what we can do with this water. You can, the next one, my friend. Well, yes. Yeah, okay, thank you. There's the memories of the future. And the next one said, love is not an abstraction. It is a frequency. You can see it here. Well, the next one is to familiarize ourselves with the topic that we will discuss today. From the archive, we obtained this photo taken by the Hubble Space Telescope, which was the closest to the Big Bang in the 21st century. And as you know now, 3,000 years later, we have photos right from the time of the Big Bang. That means 700 light years more closer. With this Portiera's definition of objects in space, we identified your planet and decided to visit it to learn about its scientific experiences. We travel, and through the hedge we saw it physically within our reach, and we descended gently. There was no entourage at the reception, and a manned vehicle welcomed us. We were installed in the guest complex for medical checkups, health, and adaptation for the environment. We were lodged in individual suites as common among the population. The comfortable living rooms have large screens to inform and have fun without commercials. They have smart kitchens that facilitate household chores. Can you give me a little bit water, please? In the basement of each building, there are personal electric vehicles. Thank you very much. In the basements of these buildings, there are personal electric vehicles which can be arranged to be transported to other places in the city. For family trips and trips outside the city, there are electric vehicles with greater capacity. Yeah, the next one. To vacation or go to other places nearby, we can move by air and vehicles that any person can crew. Furthermore, in support of mobility, collective transport is available in a network of predetermined routes. Now over here, we can see the Artificial Intelligence Center. the Artificial Intelligence Center integrally shifts the plans and programs to be developed. Here, in the room of virtual projections, they explain us the process of evolution of the planet until arriving at the point of equilibrium where they are currently after 2 centuries of building society in harmony under the principles of knowledge according with the model. They were exposed to the natural phenomena. They exposed us the natural phenomena that occurred in the history of the planet from its formation to the day of the visit. They taught us the big mistakes they made by endangering the microbiology ecology, affected, altered, or diminished to the degree of total collapse. Because the soil affected by the intervention of men, they continued suffering the synergies of the incumbent mode of production with high probabilities of establishing human groups demanding what in the 21st century named development, expanding territorially and producing with machinery the lands now the forest and what follow, that is, applying chemical products for the control of pests and for fertilization with the consequent risk and the onslaught of cities that will demand paving for its streets, houses, shopping centers, entertainment, buildings, and roads, considering the population increase, plus cars and everything we knew of the post-industrial era, including 5G microwaves impeded from human optics, like the microbial life in the area supposed to be advanced of knowledge and communication, but harmful to life with the possibility without the possibility of recovering it because the great interested without consonants will affect the microbial life at such levels that it will die as thousands of animals and vegetal species were extinguished. Then the red lights turned on alerted us and forced us to work in an integral way interdisciplinary. Being able to discover, among other aspects of the investigation, how the nature of the microbial life we speak with a combination in number with the rest of the life beings has the capacity to play with the temperatures, for example, if we saw the environment demanded, or discomposing the hydrocarbons in a process of physical chemical evolution that will take him centuries to organize, as long as they did not notice transformation in his perpetual chain reaction for the protection of himself, life. Then, this articulation of the changed life, through ignorance, we had irrevocably favored for the sake of development with a nature being able to react to the ring we imposed on it, made us reconsider in the new social organization according to the current knowledge. supported in the deduction exposed above to achieve the dynamic balance point that establishes the model that governs us. However, there were those who continued in their debauchery, printing paper without painting and going into the 21st century, invest in more progress from this perspective, falling behind the universe project. Meanwhile, others entrenched themselves with metric tons of gold that were not ones that built the new special oil. Of the civilian speculators that today there is not what to speak. The problem of environmental pollution, the problem of the environmental pollution was also difficult to eradicate, and knowing that the resolution to the puzzle will be deep, we started, what happened, my friends? Are you tired? We started by restructuring the teaching learning plans and programs, establishing the education system in force today that will be teaching the students how to safeguard life on the planet and to live contently without more philosophical disquisitions that obviate the nature of which they are part. Science does not separate us from the nature. It's the use we give to it that confronts us with it. The war was a big deal, with deaths of entire people, plus the extermination of life at microbial levels, assuming the law of the strongest. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's good. We almost finished. According to the sustainability benchmarks, we came to the conclusion of how many inhabitants we could live on the planet, considering the variables that affected the phenomenon. Okay, next one. We gradually reduced the population for 2 centuries and let nature work in freedom without civilian beliefs. On all continents for your recovery, coastlines, desert, and poles. At the time, we started to build green cities of no more than 1 million inhabitants, oriented to north-south, all buildings. The buildings house universities, schools, libraries, offices, shopping centers, houses, greenhouses, theme parks. Architectural styles of buildings, house, and apartments are built according to their destination and have the same technologies and amenities. Cities projected to house 1 million inhabitants are strategically located on the base of the earth, fulfilling the parameters of harmony with the nature. That is to say, we have thousand cities that host 1 billion people around the planet. This series is not commercial announcements or signs of any other nature. User goods and services are guided by the information provided by their mobile device. The rest of the health surface, our gardens, is reserved for the wildlife where plants and animals live in total freedom, doing the task of maintaining the planetary balance that can be visited at appropriate times without disturbing the life cycles. Cultural life is lived in theaters, museums, libraries, gymnasiums, auditoriums, and virtual rooms integrated into the buildings. For food production across the cities, we have big greenhouses to satisfy human consumptions, and we are seeing on the peak. For electric power is provided by the large areas of photovoltaic panels attached to the cities. In areas strategically located close to the cities, hundreds of towers has been built for wind power generation. It is important to note, this is very important to note, that the interproductive plant is managed by 10% of the population that generates 100% of the energy we require, and the remaining 90% of the population is dedicated to preparing for education and sports. The next one is the most yeah, more, yeah, no, down. No. The other side. No. No. Yeah. Everybody knows this formula, but the importance, this is the most important formula and not the word from Einstein. Well, so dear friends, energy has been and will continue to be congenital to our beings. We are energy, we produce energy. What's what you're doing, my friend? Yeah, right there, that's all. We produce energy, with energy, all is energy. All we need energy, all is energy. That is why the whole formula of Einstein is so important, that is still valid today. If we have said that science was born with Newton, it's certain that the age of the knowledge was inaugurated by Einstein. And then everything became waves and frequencies explaining the universe and us with it, promising progress according to the studies of the Artificial Intelligence Center that moderates our human approaches. Certainly, the harmony that we enjoy in our civilization means 5 centuries after Jesus Christ was the result of the scientific conclusion, backed fundamentally by the destiny that we granted to this success at the service of each person, preventing science from getting out of hand. So dear friends, with this energetic baggage, the rest was playing with the frequencies to our credit. And just as his frequency has his color in the spectrum, those emitted by the prime also have their value and color. In the town of the 21st century, we already knew from the bubble experiment, to which everyone had access to their PC computer to personal computer that knowledge register on a specific frequency, and that based on the aforementioned experiment, it will be possible to transpose it to affective sphere because it is equivalent, being holistic both. Knowledge is harmony. This way, dear friends, on the screen of your PC, pay attention, establishes the affective or social relationship, because if you believe that the poles are equal to each other, when observing them on the monitor, you will discover first that at the beginning they took it fast in 2 or 3 planes, and they are not equal to each other, nor they to themselves in the transit. This is the we are this activity. But not only that, but the observed movement and the was defined the Brownian phenomena is causal for the previous by the context through which energy is short affect until it becomes uniform in a single plane. That is flow continuous energy affection, to which we shall aspire in the field of human individuals, identify powers as free entities by their work in the universe or world regardless of their position, and is all desirable for human behavior in the new social order. Once reached the evolutionary degree of frequency or affect being different. And then, this is the finish, my friend. And then we discovered that the key to access the frequency of a knowledge of harmony consists of 4 letters.
And love, ultimately love.
This is the
Thank you very much,
This is the aportation.
ladies and gentlemen. The Castro has given very thoughtful ideas and valuable speech. We must give him very big thanks.
You can see my work in the one block. I have one block. With
Now I request
the
World Party President
Nepal,
Pakistan,
Nepal,
Wahid Ahmed.
one.
Please come to the dais
Thank you, my friend.
and deliver your valuable speech in a short and brief manner, so that we can go for the tea break and our next program.
Thank you for your time.
Okay. Okay, after him, no problem.